All right, so it's what is this, Sunday? It's been a couple days since I've done the last test on the turbine. It's been Thanksgiving weekend. I've had to cook, I've had to do all kinds of stuff, and now I have a cold. So what we're gonna do is, the last time we tested, we had changed out the EGT probe. I haven't done anything to it since then, and it fired right up, and you saw that there was a huge difference in the temperature when it initially fires and then comes back down to idle, and then as it comes up to the 30,000 RPM. With the old probe, it went down to like 230 degrees. With the different probe, it only went down to 330. So I think that is the huge difference that it needs, because the ECU says if it is 250 degrees, that is the minimum temperature. I'm not going to play nice. So I'm going to get this hooked up, and we're going to stick the tail out the door, and we're going to fire it up and make sure that it does it on its own again. All right, got it all set up. And we're going to, because it has stop written right now, which is good. That means that it has a radio connection. Let me zoom in here, and we're just gonna watch this go.
Ground idle. Flight RP. Ground idle.
Alright, that is brilliant. I think we found our culprit.
I think that was our culprit, was the EGT tube. So now we're gonna go through and have a look-see at everything, make sure everything's all right, because I saw a little drip of fuel right there. It's a little wet. So I'm gonna go through and check some shit and figure out why this stuff is a little wet. Not liking that too much, but it did run, so that's the important thing. All right, now just for shits and giggles, since I've got a few consistent starts with the temperature not dropping down below 350, I wanted to try out the old pump. This is the new pump, and I put the old pump back in it in the new spot, not way up here where it was. And I'm going to give that a try and see if it changes at all. Maybe the pumps wore out, maybe it's not. If it's not, I'm going to leave it in there. So let's give it a shot. All right, let me get into position here.
Ground idle.
And we'll watch this and we'll see if the new pump does any differently.
Flight RPM. Ground idle.
Couple air bubbles. $351. Oh, come on. There we go. Even with a couple of air bubbles in there.
It worked, so it was definitely not the pump. Yeah. So now I have a spare pump. But that is working good. So I'd say that was a success. I have the original pump in its new spot here where it's kind of pointed down. And it did have a couple air bubbles in this spot up here where I had changed it out, but I did flush it and get most of the air bubbles out, and now it's working just fine. So I have a truly spare pump there, and the new EGT probe is working better. So I think the next step is to take this out to the field, throw some blades on it, strap everything back down where it's supposed to be, and actually go give it a test hover. That'll be the next point. All right, so we replaced the EGT probe. Yeah, that's what it was. It's only been like a month and a half since I got it to actually work at one time. We're just making sure that...
Ground idle.
Hey, look at that. It actually worked.
Flight RPM. Ground idle.
A little pop. A little, yeah, it always gives a little tiny. Make sure everything's working. All the valves are open. Let's see if it'll fly. Hey, God, that damn thing's gonna work or not.
You haven't tested it since the last time?
I got it to get up to idle, and I got it up to full RPM, but I haven't test flown it in this state at all. So.
we must be good to go. Well, it's flying. Flies just like it always did, as long as I could get it to start. I'm thinking to myself, oh, okay, I got one good flight in so far. I'm like, fuck, that flight isn't over yet.
One good landing. Should I stop now? Yeah, probably should. But am I? No.
Two successful landings.
Yeah. Very good. Well, that was a successful test flight and making sure that the EGG probe worked. Started right up just like it's supposed to. And yeah, so I think we're good to go for this season. I just need to clean it up.
Get out there and build something.